Have you ever stared at a really long sentence and just felt lost? Like you're trying to solve some kind of complicated puzzle? Well, you're not wrong. Sentences are basically perfectly built little puzzles, and today we're going to solve one piece by piece.
Okay, let's just dive right in. This sentence right here. This is going to be our master puzzle for today. I know at first glance it looks a little intimidating, but I promise you every single part of this thing has a very specific job to do, and it's all put together just perfectly.
So, that's the big question, right? How does this thing actually work? We're about to become grammar detectives. We're going to take this sentence, pull it apart, and figure out how each piece adds to the whole meaning. And you'll see, by the end of this, it's not so mysterious after all.
But hold on. Before we can start solving anything, every good detective needs their toolkit. So let's quickly grab a couple of essential tools from our grammar toolbox. These are the absolute building blocks we're going to need.
First up is the most fundamental piece of the puzzle, the clause. Now, what is it? It's just a group of words with two key ingredients. A subject, who or what the sentence is about, and something called a predicate.
So what in the world is a predicate? It's actually super simple. It's everything in the clause that is not the subject. It's the part that tells us what the subject is or what it's doing. In this example, our studying English grammar tells us exactly what the students are up to. Easy enough, right?
Okay, now this is probably the most important tool in our kit. There are two types of clauses. You've got your independent clause, which is strong. It's a complete thought. She is reading. Boom. Done. But then you have the dependent clause. It's a little needy. It has a subject, it has a predicate, but it just can't stand on its own. It leaves you hanging because she likes books. And what happens? It needs that independent clause to lean on to make any sense.
All right, our toolkit is ready. Let's get our hands dirty and start deconstructing our puzzle sentence. We're going to start with a really interesting part, the chunk of the sentence that acts like a thing or an idea. This is the part that solves for what? Check out this piece right here, that you are tired. See that? This whole group of words is working together to do one single job. It's acting like a noun. The teacher knows what? The teacher knows that you are tired. And this, my friends, is what we call a noun clause. It's a dependent clause that basically puts on a disguise and pretends to be a noun. It can show up as the subject doing something or the object having something done to it. Now I'm going to let you in on a brilliant little trick to make sure you found one. It's the replacement test. Just take that clause you think is a noun clause and swap it out with a simple noun, something like the secret or the truth. If the sentence still works, the teacher knows the truth, bingo! You have definitely found yourself a noun clause. Okay, puzzle piece number 1 is locked in. Let's find the next one. This piece is all about adding extra detail. It's the part of the sentence that answers the question, which one? Now look at this part, who lives nearby. What's its job here? Well, it's pointing directly at the noun teacher. It's telling us exactly which teacher we're talking about. It's not just any teacher, it's the specific one, the one who lives nearby. And this is what we call an adjective clause. You might also hear it called a relative clause. Its function is right there in the name. It's an entire clause, with its own subject and verb, doing the exact same job as one single little adjective, like the friendly teacher. It just gives us more detail. And a really cool way to spot these in the wild is to look for their starter words. Think of them like little signal flags. If you see words like who, which, or that right after a noun, there's a really good chance you're looking at an adjective clause. So we've got the what and we've got the which one. Time for the final piece of our puzzle. This is the clause that gives us all the juicy background information. The context. It answers those key questions: why, when, or how. Let's zero in on that last part. Because you worked late. What question does this answer for us? It tells us why you were tired. See? It's giving us the reason, the motivation for the main idea in the sentence. And that function gives this clause its name. It's an adverb clause. Just like a single adverb can tweak a verb, an adverb clause does the same thing, but with way more detail. It gives us all that context about the reason, the time, the condition, the whole backstory of the main event. And you guessed it, just like our other clauses, these have their own set of signal words. Words like because, if, when, and although. These are your big clues. When you see one of these words connecting two ideas in a sentence, you're almost certainly looking at an adverb clause.
And just like that, we did it. We've identified every single piece. The puzzle is solved. You are officially a clause detective. So let's put it all back together and give you a tool you can take with you.
And here it is, the final picture. Just look at that. It's not a confusing mess anymore, is it? We can clearly see the main independent clause, the teacher knows, and it's being supported by 3 different dependent clauses, each one with a clear and distinct job. One describes the noun, one acts as a noun, and one explains why. Beautiful.
I want you to have this. This is your personal clause detective kit. It's a super quick trick you can use anytime to figure out what kind of clause you're looking at. Just ask these simple questions. Is it acting like a thing or an idea? It's a noun clause. Is it describing a noun? Adjective clause. And is it telling you when, why, or how an action happened? Well, that has to be an adverb clause.
So I'll leave you with a final thought. Grammar isn't just a bunch of boring rules in a textbook. It's the actual architecture of your own thoughts. So go on, take a look at the last email you sent or the last text message. Can you find the clauses? Can you see the amazing little puzzle that you built?